So how are those tacos, brother?
Dude, it was really amazing, and I really like the hot sauce too.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
I don't. Thank you once again, dude.
Appreciate it.
I so there's
Taco Tuesday, actually. I didn't just realize that.
yeah, it is
Shit.
Tuesday, and well, yeah, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday right now that we're recording, and it's gonna be Tuesday when I drop this. So I'm actually dropping this next week on Tuesday,
Nice.
and yeah, it's gonna be Tuesday.
Tuesday. It is.
There's a funny story about the place where I went to get the tacos, though. It's a place called Bronco Burrito. It's right there on what's the closest cross street? It's on Ventura. Closest cross street, pardon me, is Corbin. And the funny thing about this was like this one time that my wife and Lynn, we actually went there to get, food and stuff. And it's funny because like she didn't know that her uncle worked there. And then she saw him there and she was like, "Oh, what?" And I was like, "Well, what happened?" He was like, "Oh, it's my uncle." And I was like, "Oh shit, did you know you worked there?" And he was like, "No, not here, but I knew he worked at like a Mexican restaurant." I was like, "Oh shit."
Out of nowhere. That's like a nice coincidence right there.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. And that's actually one of the spots that we did our best going during the pandemic because, it's a mom and pop place. It's not like a franchise
Just
place.
support a mom and pop.
Of course, man. So, but glad you like them, though.
Dude, appreciate it. Up a store and carne asada is all I need.
Yeah, man. I was kind of stressing because, like, because you asked for that, and I was like, got you. And then you were like, oh, and I'll take some kombucha. And I was like, fuck. Because, dude, okay, so here's the thing. I know about kombucha. Me personally, I've never tried kombucha. And when you told me about it, I was like, dude, where the fuck do I get these things? So what's that?
I brought this, but I usually get them at Costco. It's called strawberry lemonade.
So
But
what?
there's different there's a lot of flavors, but I don't really.
So kombucha is like what? Like it has like probiotics. Like what is it?
Yeah, it's like live bacteria that's good for like gut health.
Yeah.
Of course, like it'll if you have good gut health, it'll improve the way your immune system is.
Yeah.
Filter out like a lot of bad things that go into your body as well.
Right.
So and plus it honestly tastes like soda to me, and it's an
Really?
acquired taste. Some people think it's it at first it's like vinegary, but then like over time it just tastes like flavored soda, and that's actually freaking healthy for you. You'd believe it or not, like I'd go to like certain parties, like, and if it's one of those BYOB, it's one of those things where it actually bring like some kombucha.
Do people look at you weird? When
No,
you
it's like, oh cool, y'all brought kombucha, and then really they're just gonna stick to liquor, and my ass is just sipping on the kombucha and enjoying myself.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's all I need.
Hangovers? What? None.
No, I'm good on
Can
hangovers.
you get hangovers on those?
No, it only has like less than 0.5% of alcohol by volume, like per bottle.
Oh, okay.
But you'd have to drink like a
shit
bunch
ton.
to like even feel even remotely close to a buzz. Even not, I don't even know how many, but
Right.
it's not much.
Oh, so it's like Truly's then, because
No, it's not. Those are like that
No,
5%. This is really just
in the sense that you would have to chug a shit ton to feel anything.
I wouldn't know. I've never had one of
No.
those truly sparkling stuff.
That's kind of good that you haven't, because man, it's.
They
I'll be
get
honest.
tasty, though.
I got into them before I started practicing sobriety, which is kind of why now I'm like drinking the Perrier water, because it kind of reminds me of it. And it's funny because the first time I drank, it wasn't Truly's, it was White Claw, and I literally had to sit through an entire 12-pack just to feel anything. And I was just
Dang.
like, yeah, I don't know if I'll drink these again. And sure enough, I ended up drinking like the hard seltzer more and more.
Yeah,
just
because it becomes like water or juice. It's like, I ain't feel none. I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the funny part of those hard seltzers, man. It's just crazy though, because like White Claws came out, made a big boom, and then you just started seeing the trickle effect of all these other beverage companies just started to take suit into that
Corona
market.
did it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like companies that just started making their own seltzer.
Like Bud Light was actually my favorite. Bud Light, and then you obviously saw Truly come in, And then Corona had their own. It's just the hard seltzer wave, man. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious as fuck.
I've never tried it.
Even Four Loko. Four Loko came out with a hard seltzer.
I saw,
yeah,
they had like when I first tried. I mean, I remember when I first had those Four Locos. They were just mystery ingredients in there, and just got you effed up from one can. It was like 8% alcohol by volume, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, either 8 or 10 or 12%. I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. Like I survived the first epidemic of Four Locos back in 2010. Survived it. Never drank those shits up until EDC Orlando. Not last year, but 2019.
Yeah,
might as well be last year. I mean, last year doesn't count, but 2019 I broke the seal, man. But the only reason why is because it was a no-brainer. You were either gonna buy a tall can of what was it that they were serving? I don't think it was Modelo. I think it was like Corona or Bud Light. I'm not too sure, but it was a tall can of one of those beers or a tall can of Four Loko.
I mean, and it gets you messed up for like how much of the value. Like you get a good value and it gets you messed up, you know.
Yeah, and I remember the two kind of Four Locos they had was the one I was drinking that weekend was the razzleberry one or the raspberry one. I'm not too sure. And then they had the gold one. The gold one, I knew that's like a nightmare. Like I see all my friends drinking the gold one. I'm like, I must stay away from that one.
Dude, any of those berry, fruity ones they get you in trouble, man, because they get too sweet and tasty, and next thing you know, you're just sipping on them like juice, and then you just messed up.
That's the problem with any alcohol, though, right?
Yeah.
You got out of nowhere, you're just like, damn, I don't taste shit. This shit's going down like water. I'm like, yeah, you're in trouble now, man. Like you might want to start drinking some water,
exactly,
to like stay hydrated. But
I mean, well, what did we? I mean, when I met you at Nocturnal, I remember y'all had a ice chest full of it was White Claws, right? It was White Claws and mixed of what?
No, it was water.
Water. I could have sworn maybe there was Capri Sun.
That's why it was well. I mean, cat's out of the bag, but that Nocturnal was so. Oh, my goodness,
that was the best event 2019 before the pandemic hit.
It was.
That was my best event that year.
It definitely was, but the camping situation though, oh my goodness, that man.
I mean, the car camping that we was at.
Yeah, and this is how we met, man. And once again, and actually, we'll start with this, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome my good friend James. James.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this once again, sir. Here's
Thanks for having
our
me.
version of flowers here, man. Some applauses. The way that we met you, it was right there at that Nocturnal. We went and camped.
Campsite.
And boy, man, so was that your first time camping?
That was my first. Yeah, that was my first rave camping experience.
So I could see why that was dope for you then.
Yeah, like I came in solo and I was like, all right, I'm for sure going to run into people. And I was like, I don't need a canopy because I'm going to be rolling in somebody else's canopy. I like purposely did that. And the next thing you know, I'm just like, chilling there, making my way, hey, what's up, neighbors? It looks like we're neighbors. And it's like, yes. I broke it in, broke the ice right there.
Nah, but you helped us out a lot, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing.
My pleasure.
That Nocturnal, the camping situation, look, for you, because it was your first time camping, you it was kind of like, oh, this is a standard.
Yeah.
However, for someone that at that point had already done 2 prior camping festivals, that was not it, man. That Nocturnal was handled piss poor. At least the camping.
Okay.
The event itself, no. The event, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know what to compare it to, but I mean,
so
what happened?
The year prior, okay, so 2018. First of all,
it was still at the Glen Helen.
It was still at Glen Helen, yeah. First of all, how was security? Ghost. Nah, it's just a little power surge. How was security 2019 as far as getting inside the camping?
I mean, I wouldn't know because. Oh wait, as far as getting into the camping.
Yeah, with the car.
Oh, mine was a breeze. I mean, at least the line I went to, they got like the security was just, I don't know, maybe just checking the trunk for a little bit. They didn't like fully dig like certain other securities, like made people pull stuff out. For me, I was just like I usually do it where I'm like just trying to kiss ass, you know. Right when they're there, I had like Krispy Kreme donuts.
I remember.
My ass was just giving it to people, and I was like, "Yo, y'all want some?" It's like, "Oh, dude, thanks, man. I wish, but I can't right now." I was like, "All right," So there's like they just kind of patted my stuff a little bit, like, "Yeah, you good." So I'd like to think some of that may have helped, but they were chill nonetheless. So
let me tell you, James, security that year, a joke.
But they really just check you.
They were a joke because 2018. I'm talking about they strip searched the shit out of our car. They made us take everything out. They popped our hood. They even checked the gas the gas gasket.
Damn.
They opened it. They looked inside, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! And they patted us down on top of all that.
Nah, like they like did a like like a little pat just to feel like they did it.
Yeah.
But no, it was nowhere near what you just described. That's
Dude,
pretty thorough.
So I'm over here telling my friends, hey, look, listen, security's about to be tip top magoo. They're gonna be searching you up the ass. You're gonna probably feel even a little violated. It's gonna be rough. But I promise you, once you're inside, perfect.
Good. Yeah.
Polar opposite. It was the whole thing, the security. Hey, look, I'm not complaining. They didn't do like a super thorough job like they did the year prior. Which, hey, to us, it was kind of convenient. But the whole situation of how they were setting us up inside was a complete disaster. I don't know if you remember, but you kind of just drove off on your own.
Yeah.
And you chose your own spot.
Yeah.
Versus the year prior, it wasn't like that.
It was just all lined up to where you're supposed to be.
Exactly. They guided you in. They said, okay, you're going to go here. That person's going to go there. That person's going to go there. Boom. Versus the year that you went, it was a free-for-all.
Yeah, because like I noticed that some people just kept taking spots and didn't park correctly.
Yeah.
And some people that came late were like, "You, dude, where am I supposed to park?" So it sucks for them. However, I'd say on a bright note, I'm glad that happened because I wouldn't have met you.
Exactly.
So you wouldn't have been next to me. So yeah, but in that sense, from what you said, the disorganization, I do remember that being slightly disorganized with that. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, like you just mentioned though, from a negative came a positive though. Because
I was like,
we met you, and then you helped us out so much because our group, big as fuck, huge fucking group. It was like
you guys were rolling deep, man.
10 plus, and then that's not even including the ones that were in the tent camping because some of our friends came in just tent camping only. And dude, it was. But other than that though, the event itself was great. Was that your first nocturnal?
No, I mean that was, as far as in Glen Helen, maybe that was my third nocturnal. Because I went starting 2017.
Oh, okay.
Was that was my first nocturnal in Glen Helen. But as far as like when they used to when they started around early 2000s, which was around when I started going, it used to be Nocturnal Wonderland to Nocturnal Festival, and then they kind of like went on hiatus with Nocturnal for some reason when they used to have it in like downtown LA, like and they would just set it up there. I know. You would never think Nocturnal would be somewhere there.
No, I when I was doing the research on it back like 2 years ago, I did see that it used to be like in downtown LA, like in the warehouses and stuff.
At some point, I hear it was in the NOS event centers. Very few times.
That I do know because a cousin of mine went to that. He went, I believe, the 2010 edition of Nocturnal. Yeah, and it was at NOS. Yeah, we kind of dodged a bullet there because Glen Helen, man. I
like that venue.
A lot of my friends hate it, but it's only because of the dust situation. and
Yeah.
you get dust sickness after. But if you could get past that venue, by far, at least in my opinion, is probably one of the top venues in Southern California.
Yeah. It's yeah, it is because like you got the camping set up and
Yes.
having to like go back to your campsite and going back to the event, that was really convenient. You know,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Damn. So you're that OG triple OG that you went back in the
Damn.
day.
Yes. I mean, I when I started, it was like around 2000. My first event was this event called Nation, and they were like the same promoters. It was called Channel 36, who were promoting Audiotistic at the time before it was Insomniac.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was like a smaller Audiotistic, you could say. And then I went. I was like fifth. I was like in 10th grade at the time.
This was when Audiotistic was kind of like also like a skate kind of event too, right?
It was it was a skating event. They actually had like a ramp there, and they had a like the hip hop room. It was like a, one of like the OG hip hop artists, and like Talib Kweli, Mos Def,
Damn.
Jurassic 5, Black Alicious, DJ Qbert, who's like one of the top DJs.
Damn,
He was
yeah.
there. Trance was huge back then. People wearing like baggy pants and all candied out. That was the trend. Um, there was no, there was definitely no pasties rocking around. Like there was more. There wasn't a lot of skin showing from the ladies. Let's say that,
It was primarily like yeah, like
or
you
the men
said,
for that matter.
the
Either.
overalls with like the
The overalls,
like
Jenkos.
the checker long sleeves, or like not the checkers, the striped long sleeves.
Exactly.
With
It was
like-
a lot baggier in a sense with where you're getting to.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
baggier
yeah.
clothing. You know, yeah, it wasn't like right now where you definitely see
More
skin.
sexual.
Yeah.
More sexual,
Yeah,
which hey, I
exactly.
mean that's nothing bad in my opinion.
No,
I mean,
it's,
it's the
I enjoy it.
yes, yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's the look, man. This community, and especially you, that you started off this so early. I mean, you could explain it, right? How free was the environment back in the day,
Um, hmm.
as far as like the essence of the culture, and like how free spirited were people back then?
It was. I think it's. I think back then, it was people were still like with the plur. They were still friendly, but I think it's evolved where people are much more free now.
Yeah,
In a sense, where like I guess yeah, with how like I guess I could compare it with a sense with how people exchange with candy.
right.
I see more of that now than how it was back then. It's and I would gauge it on that because you see people like for instance when I've been giving light shows for a very long time, and since that time I was giving light shows, there were people that started giving candy out, like I'd say mid 2000s, like 2010 and up.
Yeah.
It started getting better and better. There was more hugs back in the day. I mean, right now as opposed to back in the day. Excuse me. The friendly cuddle puddles, as what I like to call it.
Yeah.
I've felt it more in recent years rather than back then. Back then, it was still, people still had their own groups, but I just feel like more people are willing to get lost now and go solo, and at least as like me, my experience,
Yeah.
like now in my experience, I can actually go solo and enjoy, and there's more people like me that can actually do that and feel free, and not have to feel committed to a squad.
So back then it was more like that, right? Tribal, kind of in a sense. Like
Sort of, yeah.
you legitimately had like
You
a
had your
rave friend
squad.
that you stuck with the entire night.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
you.
it was still good vibes,
Mhm.
but obviously now you get more of like the free range people.
Yeah, because like I think a lot of it has to do with. I mean, on top, in addition to what I just told you, a lot of um, I guess what's been encouraged because of social media too. You know,
Yeah,
there's that
yeah,
influence where people know, like they encourage all the plur, and they see videos of people friendly. They see videos of people exchanging candy. They're like, it's that they're influenced by that. So now they're gonna think, hey, I want to exchange candy because I saw it on my Instagram. Like people doing that. So it's all like all these subliminal messages of plur
yeah.
and exchanging candy and hugs and fireworks and kissing under the fireworks, and people are want to they look forward to that when they buy their tickets to all
Yeah.
these events.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, obviously with the times, things just level up, right?
Yeah,
Everything is like mass produced now.
the production value. I mean,
To a
how
huge
they.
extent.
I mean, just like with Insomniac and how Pasquale has evolved his production and how much he can invest now. Uh, I mean, you can see it like when you see like Escape or like Nocturnal, and you see that Alice in Wonderland theme,
Yeah.
and like Escape. It's obviously really scary. You see like jack o' lanterns sitting out of nowhere. There's like different levels. There's scaffolds. There's platforms, and if for those that are on something or on a really fun trip, I mean, that's a true haunted house right there. Yeah, so no comment if I'm talking from experience. So
It's all alleged. As long as you say it's alleged, you're fine. That's
yeah,
one of the rule of thumbs here at the
yeah,
podcast, man. You can say some real crazy stuff, just say allegedly.
allegedly, yeah.
Oh
So
man.
so my friend says so. So, yeah, asking for a friend kind of thing. You know,
Damn, dude, that's I never. So how? Okay, so you got into this. You said about 10th grade.
like when I was in 10th grade, so about 20, 21 years ago.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's crazy. It's crazy in the sense that you yourself really have got to watch the community evolve into what
Yeah,
it is today.
I love how it's evolved, honestly. Especially having the option to have like a camping 3-day festival. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I probably wouldn't even have met you. I mean, maybe eventually at a festival, but like,
yeah,
the way you could have like neighbors who you could look forward to a rave with, and you're actually like pre-partying the whole way in a campsite. Just I would have never imagined that festivals would have evolved in that sense. Back then it was just more like EDC was just like one day
at the
or
shrine, huh?
at it was you're close. It's like Coliseum at the time.
Oh,
Like
so
back in
they
the
they
day.
had done the Coliseum already at that point, or
Yeah, it was think 2010 was the last one I attended.
yeah, I went to that one. That was actually my first massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the first EDC I attended, which was I think in 2001, there was a time where like raves were just blowing up, and it was all over the news. There was you'd hear it on the headlines like this is new drug ecstasy, and
Oh
it's a
my god,
rave thing,
yeah,
and there was events were prior to that there were events were ending at 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Even
yeah.
LA events were ending from 4 or 6 a.m. And because that was happening, there was like regulations being enforced, and EDC ended up ending at 11:30 p.m. I was like,
Wow,
yeah, you would think at least midnight, at least 1 a.m., and I was
that's
like
crazy.
11:30 p.m.
Well, yeah, man.
2001.
A lot of shit during that time period. I mean, from what I could collect from like information I've read or documentaries that I've seen. Yeah, a lot of things really started to go downhill when like the Rave Act went into effect. and shit like that. It started limiting these underground events. I mean, obviously, all these events back then were mostly underground, and it wasn't up until going towards the mid 2000s when it really started to become a little bit commercial. Not too much, but the information of these events started to become a little bit more accessible. Obviously, during this time, Pasquale was still growing Insomniac, becoming the powerhouse that he currently is now. But at that time, he was growing it. And then, obviously, at this time also on the East Coast, you get, you get like Ultra doing their thing. And then that's not even pointing out the things that were happening overseas. So it's just crazy to see or to hear from you, your experience of how it went from like kind of like a word. Because back then it was word of mouth, right? Like
it was, you know, it was, at least from how I heard about these events through word of mouth. And on top of, there, like near, I went to high school at Fairfax, and right next to the school, there's a outdoor little strip mall where like all around Melrose there was like record stores, DJ stores, of course, and hip hop stores where there would be flyers and tickets for events where you would purchase it from those record stores. Like Workman's was a popular one. I forgot, Fat Beats was another one. And there would be flyers there that people would just stack up on a table, and you could just pick them up. And then when you got purchased like Audiotistic or EDC tickets, they were actually like really nice, fancy fold-outs. They were like really cool tickets. So you would have to get them there, and it was just all paper tickets back in the day. And it's
no,
kind of cool.
No such thing as
that digital stuff.
Digital layaway plan.
Yeah, I'm like doing this now. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe I go to stores and just like pick up tickets, and it's just damn. I'm an old dog. I can't believe it. I think just clicking away.
I think the last time I ever did a ticket purchase on site at like a, you know, whether it was like a skate shop or a hip hop store or something of that nature, was for paid dues. So it was a hip hop fest.
Yeah, I think I paid dues.
And I had to go because a cousin of mine was yo, buy me this ticket, I'll pay you back. I'm like, say less. I went.
Nice.
It was the place was like in Pasadena that I bought it, and yeah, you just go in, pay the fee, boom, you get it. And this was like 2013. So, and then I remember, oh my goodness, I remember
2013.
Yeah, and then I remember for my first massive EDC 2010, the last one in LA, I had to get the printout. I had to get the printout.
It was like the Ticketmaster printout, right?
Yes, I had to get the printout, and I had to go to will call.
Oh
my goodness, that will call line was so dreadful. But the entire time, like, and this is when I started to really sense how loving the community is, man. Because I was in front of this, you know, this group of friends, and they were just like, oh, like, you know, it's your first message, this and that. And I'm all like, yeah, it is. And they were just like, oh my god, you're a rave baby, this and that. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Nice.
And then all the while just talking, trading candy and all this stuff, chopping it up, get my ticket, and I go into this amazing world that is the rave community, man. And that was EDC.
That was the last one at Coliseum.
Yeah, man.
I remember I got the VIP ticket for that one, and it was $75 for VIP.
Dude,
you just go in. I think it's I believe you get open bar and free water all night from like water bottles, like all night.
That was the cabana, cabanas at the main
it was just
stage?
a VIP area. Like you could go in there, and I remember like when I went in there and I had the VIP wristband. I just go in there, stack up some water, and walk out. You gotta hide from security though, and then I just like go to my friends and my squad and just like, bam, y'all got some free water. Fuck that. Like you can't be like buying that. It was like $5 a pop.
Yeah, not only that, but there was just, I mean,
it still is $5 a pop.
At least, I think. At least from what I remember, there was legit only one water fountain, and it was like on the south end of the Coliseum. If you go up the stairs, there's like literally just one water fountain. Yeah. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, there's only one water fountain for this entire thing. I was just like, geez. But that was a great one though.
It was, and with the water situation, I gotta give props on how Insomniac actually provides the free water, at least now, like water stations. That's cool. I mean, I'll be honest, I still get like water bottles because sometimes I'm spoiled like that. I like the water bottle taste, and I'm like, whatever, I'll just cop it up.
Man,
I'm trying to get it
splurge.
ice cold too, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm in this experience. I'll pay for this experience. Take my damn money, motherfuckers.
That's like one of the bashing arguments like on Twitter. Like I remember a while back, obviously with pre-pandemic, they're all like, "Oh, how are you guys complaining about you can't afford water, but you could easily afford a ticket?" Blah blah blah. This and that. It's just
Yeah, I've heard that shit.
common EDM Twitter toxicity. It's just hilarious, but it makes sense though because like if you could buy a ticket, you could easily buy water, and I stay buying water when I feel like it, or sometimes what I do is just I see if a vendor is cool enough to just let me get a big ass thing of like ice and just fill my Camelback up.
Yeah, that's
And then
they're pretty cool with that.
yeah, and then I just load up the regular standard fountain water, and yeah, but the whole fountain water thing, yeah, and shout out to Insomniac, but I mean. They, in a way, they kind of had to, especially with what happened at EDCLA that year.
Yeah.
And the new safety guidelines that they had to bestow, because prior to that, it was kind of like free range in a way, correct? Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, can you answer this? At what point did it become 16 and over?
It was 16 and over, at least when I started for sure. I feel that even in around 2006 to 2000, I think it ended in 2008 where it would be 18 and over. But correct me, was the EDC in 2010?
It was
16 and over.
It was 16 over. So
after
yeah,
2010 is when that.
yeah,
I believe somebody died that
unfortunately,
EDC.
yeah.
That's when it started being 18 and over. Because I know for sure close to 2008 to 2010 it was
still 16.
But now that you confirmed, yeah, I do recall EDC was.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate mishap that happened, and
Jeez.
what ended up happening after that was they changed the regulations. That EDC really changed the landscape of the culture because after that there was no more real massives in LA. They all migrated to the Inland Empire. And matter of fact, the first event that was 18 over was that year's Audiotistic.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after that, that was a standard. It was a standard 18 and over. Although in Canada, there's some events that they do 16 and over. Like I know for a fact, Ever After. Do you know what Ever After is?
No, I don't think I've heard of Ever After.
It's primarily bass, but they sometimes trinkle a little bit of house. Like they'll have like Claude Von Stroke there and AC Slater and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, for the most part, that one is actually 16 over. So that's interesting. But mind you, it is Canada.
Yeah.
Our Canadian brethrens up north, they're a little bit more settled than us Americans down here.
Yeah, I one festival I know is out there as well that I am definitely interested in going to is Shambhala.
Oh, yes.
See, you're
yes, dude.
So, that's one of those 3-day.
They've expanded it. It's actually goddamn near a whole week.
Oh,
you could go in. You could go in. I believe at the earliest. Now I think they changed it. I think like even like Tuesday or Wednesday. But the festivities doesn't start till Thursday.
Oh yeah,
it goes from Thursday up until Sunday. So in a way, it's kind of like
that sounds about right.
It's kind of like eForest, but eForest also they changed their policies too. That you could do as early as it's Tuesday arrival. It's Tuesday arrival, but it's just mainly for camping. You set things up and whatnot, but the festivities doesn't start until that Thursday.
Yeah, or like they have some packages for like people that pay extra for like the pre party before Thursday, the pre to the Wednesday to the Tuesday that precedes the Tuesday. Just basically come on Monday, motherfuckers.
Yeah, at that point, it's just a week vacation, which is pretty good.
Buy now and you'll get the Sunday pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but that's how they get you.
But it's crazy though because like you mentioned before, you see you start fairly early on in the early 2000s, and you see this progression to now that you You're seeing these festivals having the camping experience, which, in my opinion, that camping, like anyone listening that hasn't done a camping fest, I highly recommend it. Whether it be nocturnal, Base Canyon, Los Angeles, which is something
Damn.
you're gonna be doing soon.
Yeah, I'll see you there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. We'll talk about
I'll
that.
see you there.
But any camping festival, highly recommend. It amplifies the experience of the festival already, and then you get the experience of camping.
Yeah, adding to what you said about amplifying the experience, I mean, like what we kind of mentioned is just, being able to just build a stronger bond with like people that's you mean your neighbors, your fellow campers,
Yeah.
and because usually, when you're at an event, you run into people like you probably like dig how they dance or their style, and maybe you're chatting and you join their squad. That's cool, but like at the same time, because you're surrounded with loud music, and it could be overwhelming with so many people always passing by you, and there's so many things to do. It could be pretty impersonal as far as like who you're trying to connect with.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're at a campsite, and that amplified experience goes with having to have like a barbecue with your friends and
Exactly,
just
yeah.
snacking and just like doing whatever the miscellaneous stuff you want to add in between
Yeah.
that. And you just get to talk about anything and nothing really rave related, or you don't feel like you have to partake in any activities that you would typically do at an event. Whereas where you're at a campsite, you're just like, just you feel free.
I'll add to that. 2018, the year that this was my second camping experience, my first one at Nocturnal. This is how crazy it was. So that weekend, I don't know if you remember that, but that was the weekend of the fights. I think Canelo was fighting Triple G.
Oh, it was a 2018. Yeah.
I think it was it the rematch, or was it that was the one when he did the draw?
It must have been the draw for 2018.
So some crazy motherfucker brought a TV into the campgrounds.
Wow.
And they legit watched the fight before they went inside the festival.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. This is
ballsy. That's respect though, too.
It is, dude. It is. But this is what you were just saying though. Like
that.
you could exactly.
So you were there like chilling and you saw it too?
Well, no, I heard about it. I heard about it because once again we made friends with our neighbors in the camps around, and they were telling us how like the dude down there in that row, he legit had a whole ass TV and he set up the fight. I was like, dude, that right there, the fucking applause, dude. That's fucking that's something unthinkable. Like you take a whole ass TV to watch the fights.
If you ever spot people like that, get their number. Make sure they're like people you want to camp with in the future.
Oh, no doubt.
It's like they're freaking ready.
You mentioned dancing, man.
And
Look, man, you are a motherfucker of a dancer, man.
Dude, no.
No. Look,
Appreciate
listen. You are a motherfucker of a dancer, man. And on top of that, you've mentioned already, but you're also a motherfucker of a flow artist, man. You do light shows flowing. And you do the like I'm telling you, man. When I was watching you do the flowing of the flow art with the what was that? Was it like a yo-yo or
it's an orbit
got it,
that has like light handles. It's actually was, I think I was like 2 months into it because I barely started July of 2019, and that was and I saw you in September. I think you saw me when it was in the same room where Jaws or Zed's Dead was at.
Zed's Dead.
And it was like you were on a higher elevation near the hilltop, and you saw me below going ham, and I was like, hey man, you're tripping out on that.
I was. No, hey, look. Allegedly I was zooted. And I was just watching you get down with that shit. And I was like, dude,
appreciate it, man.
No, it's dope, man.
Yeah.
How'd you get into dancing?
You know what? It's a funny thing with that because I started in high school. I was in 9th grade, and I saw some friends. It was like at a pep rally, and they were like they're breaking, and I was like, I just never seen it in person. Like they're doing windmills, head spins, and really fast footwork and freezes, and um, I wanted to try it, so I you know uh, hung out with them and joined a little crew, and we like I learned. I started going to like friends' houses and practice like at a garage or in a living room, and uh, yeah, breaking, breakdancing. I call it breaking.
Yeah.
B-boying. That's the style that got me into dancing and trying to learn other styles. But I guess you could say that's my main. And yeah, because I got into that because it was like I feel that once I got into raving, I was still breaking, and I learned this. At the time, there was this dance style called candy walking, and people would do it to trance. It's somewhat similar to shuffling, but if it's very limited. But it was, it don't. It's no longer a trend. It's no longer a trend. Nobody really does it, and but yeah, I was still breaking during the rave days, and I eventually wanted to just learn other styles like hip hop choreography, house grooves. Now I'm really trying to get into shuffling, just mixing up whatever style I can and whatever, um, uh, however the music moves me. And I find it most fun that I'm actually attending events that cater to a lot of to like house music,
Yeah.
subgenres of house music because I like house grooves and my style usually hits music to house and because I used to um, do it to like underground hip hop.
Yeah.
That was like my thing back then. But over time, I just kind of got bored of it, and you know, uh, EDM music, house music, and trance at the time were just moving me a little bit better, or moving my soul much better
Yeah.
than underground hip hop was, and but yeah, before, I mean, I was all about it. I was used to be like, yeah, I mean, it's all about that underground hip hop sound. And then later on, I'm just like, man, I ain't really feeling it no more.
Oh
And then,
man.
but yeah, like I love it so much. It's been a journey with it. There were like points where, um, I wish I really took it for granted, you know. I got distracted with other things like partying, uh, being distracted by that among being indecisive with what to do in life, and uh, but I really owe a lot to dance because it's actually like saved my life a lot more than I expected, and it's helped me a lot because you know like a style like breaking, being that it's so difficult, it takes a toll on your body or my body, and from injuries and just having to go through hardships with it and losing confidence and being able to overcome it and leveling up from it made me believe like I could apply the same kind of approach with other things in life, whether it's not dancing, and thinking, okay, if I could do that, if I'm willing to work as hard with this specific talent or um, this art form, I feel like I could actually apply it in other things in life and um, apply the same work ethic and give me more confidence. And it's funny. I know we were talking about like off camera, like about the whole introvert extrovert thing that
Yeah.
you were mentioning. I want to rewind real quick because I actually got into it too because I am an introvert, and um, I didn't know, back then it was my way of like dancing and like, if, breaking the ice with somebody that appreciates what I did or how I performed, and how it coincides with how I love doing it in the rave world. Like I love doing light shows, and whether I'm breaking or doing whatever style I'm doing, and if people like you showing me love like you
Yeah,
did,
man.
I love that, and it's my way of breaking the ice and being like, hey, I appreciate the love, and because I really do appreciate it, and I could connect with people on a different level, and that I probably wouldn't have if I didn't get into it. So yeah, dance really saved me.
For me, it's passion, man. I can always see that in people when the way that they express themselves. In your case, dancing and flow art, it just shows that this is something you definitely have put time and effort into.
Dude, thanks for
And
recognizing that. Yeah.
well, yeah, look, as like we said off mic, I I have disciplines in wrestling and judo,
Oh
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing,
Sick.
and
Oh
in
yeah.
very similar ways, there's nothing different between those and dancing. I mean, obviously it's
Course.
different.
It's
in
still
the
an art
sense,
form.
but thank you. Yes, it's still
Yeah.
an art form. It is a tool that you use to express yourself, and fuck, man, just like you told me, man, I wouldn't have noticed that you were an introvert, man, because
Yeah.
you got good energy, man,
Dude,
and you're very
appreciate it, man.
you're someone that I was able to easily talk to you, man.
Dude, like, same ways. It goes both ways.
I mean, we're talking
man.
right now.
Exactly. When I met you at the campsite, we were just like flowing, like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
man, and the it's crazy though, because like the way you were saying how at some point you kind of did lose like the drive in b-boying and breakdancing, but you were able to use what you learned in breakdancing to translate into
Life.
life, and not only that, but to really further your life within the rave scene, which is something beautiful because this community is one that is very accepting.
It is. Yeah.
It's very accepting, for the most part, the right
Yeah.
people,
No,
the right
no.
people. But the thing is, with the thing that you use to express yourself, which is dance and flow art, you're able to gravitate those people that are meant to be in your life, man.
Dude, well said. Well said. I actually wanted to add to what you said about
Yeah.
how the community, the rave community is very accepting. Because going back to me giving up with breaking and just like dancing in general, I was I lost confidence. I was like out of shape. I just couldn't do what I was able to do before. I was also using this excuse that I was getting old, but like, I with a community like the rave community and how they accept what I was doing, what my current skill set was. They accepted it and they appreciated it. And I've been to like breaking events where, I mean, they're fun, and I'm glad I had the experience to do so because that world level of breaking is really inspiring. It's really intimidating to get into those circles. You just watch and like you see this aura, like it's hard to get into that. But it's hard to be really accepted into that type of community unless you like reach like a certain level. You have to like compete in several events where your name gets recognized. And I like being inspired, and I've seen like videos online from VHS to YouTube and how it's evolved from there. And but like I always like just the dance for of course I always like the battle essence of it. I mean, everybody loves a dance battle, of course, and it's intense, but like to compete on that level where there's some politics involved and it gets like really there's the tension build up. I never saw it like that. I was mainly like the party b-boy, like have fun in there, like everybody get lit, it's just all fun, like nobody's really serious and stuff. And I respect all those b-boys that, I mean, that's them, and I respect that, and they're on a different journey with it, and I like the journey that I've been to where I could mix this style with everything else and continue to do it in a community that accepts me. So that's why I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what inspires me to keep going, because I've found a community where I could do this among light flow arts, and I tend to do like a hybrid style where I like to mix everything, and they could appreciate it. You know, like the
Yeah.
shuffle community, shaping, cutting community, etc.
Yeah,
Which is a very popular, which is a very very popular dance style, dance
Yeah.
styles in the rave community.
yeah.
So I like that I could bring my flavor into it and be accepted.
Yeah, that cutting shapes, that's a whole new style, but it's still within the aspects of shuffling. And
It
then,
is, yeah.
And then, like you mentioned, I mean,
Variation.
you've been able to meet a lot of dope people. I mean,
I'm honored to.
one of my known one of our known what's the word I'm like mutual friends is like Eddie,
Yeah,
Courtney,
that dude. Yes, I thought
Yeska, I think that's her name.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I know Courtney and Eddie almost a little bit better because we used to work at 24 Hour Fitness.
That's
How
funny.
that's how I know them. And then obviously Mark Fong.
Mark Fong, yeah.
Yeah, he also used to work out at I know, man.
He lives in the valley too.
Yeah, man, but this is where I'm getting to though, man. This community very it's big once you're inside, but it's very small. But the beauty of it is that you end up meeting so many dope people, and it's because of that, the expression of art. You in this instance is dancing. Their experience also is dancing, and it's just one of those beautiful things, man. And I totally get where you're coming from when you say the b-boy nature of it, because that's one thing I do find difficult, that there are lessons within the like disciplines, like I mentioned, like I wrestle judo and then you dance. But it's just that competitive nature that kind of kills it in a way, because you have to walk around with like that chip on your shoulder, that kind of ego driven, like, nah, I'm better than you. Nah, fuck
you're just
you,
trying to chill, right?
But you're trying to chill, but for whatever reason, it's like that little bit of primal instinct in us that we just get that nature of like, nah, I gotta one that person up. I gotta be better than them. And look, if you're a competitor, by all means, I understand it. But if you're just someone who just wants to chill and vibe out, that type of atmosphere is very toxic, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's always fun to have like, just like play fighting kind of thing, and then you're like play battling, and then maybe it gets tension heated, but the fun tension heated where you're just like, hey, and then everybody just all hugs after. Yeah, and I'm cool with that. But like when it's like super organized and it's like, really like everybody just all eyes on you, every detail orientation is like really just judged. That pressure is real,
Oh, no,
and it's like one of those, whereas like, let's compare, I'm just in a circle at a rave or an underground shuffle event or whatever. Everybody just like, hey, let's get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, ooh, like boom, everybody's just clapping and sync with it. There's no tension. The aura is different. Everybody's just welcoming, and accepting, as you mentioned. So I, thrive on those. And, I, at certain points when I hear that and that vibe is there, I mean, you hear something along the lines where when people feed off that energy, you hear it in like basketball, when people, from football or any sport, they feed off the crowd's energy. They talk shit to you. You're like, all right, you want to show them up again. It's like, they talk shit to me. You heard an audience do that. It's like, all right, I'm gonna show you what. I'm gonna show you what's up then. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Definitely, man.
But yeah, dance. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very thankful for the community. It makes me excited that, like, outside of just like work and the regular flow of life, I could look forward to something I love to do, and doing it in a community that enjoys it, going to Fantasyland with something I love.
And escape, no pun intended.
Escape, yeah. Escape. Yeah.
So everything's opening up, man. And the light at the end of the tunnel is just, it's so bright now that it's like, it's blinding, but it's just the kind of blinding it's just amazing, dude. What's next for you, man? Like, I know we talked, and you're for sure doing Lost Lands.
Yes, Lost Lands. That's next for me. I mean, I've already had a lot of tickets that were reserved since 2019, and they were intended for 2020, but obviously the pandemic happened. Just to name certain events like EDC. There's Beyond Wonderland in SoCal. I was supposed to go to the one at the Gorge, but it's a week before Lost Lands, and I can't do two camping events in a row.
Dude, no.
It's either one or the other. So
I
two
respect
camping
that.
events, like that's
And then
like,
back to back.
you kind of gotta take a lot off work within those 2 weeks, and that'll take a toll. But like, it was originally supposed to be like in June, but then they pushed it out again. So if I were to choose, obviously I'd choose the SoCal one, and Lost Lands, of course. In addition to Escape, there's Day Trip.
Yeah, day trip. You going day trip?
Yeah, I believe it's in July.
Dude, let's go. We're going. No.
Yes,
sir.
See you.
We're going. No,
We're
we're linking up. Like I told you before, dude. Every event that you go to, we're linking up, man. It's a must, dude. It's a definite must, man.
For sure, man.
Let's keep fingers crossed, because I have my resentment towards California governing, but let's hope that everything is great. Day Trip be the first festival, not large scale, but at whatever it's supposed to be. Are you doing Hard Summer?
Oh yeah, excuse me, I forgot about that. Yes, I'm going, dude. Hard Summer.
Linking at Hard Summer, and then Lost Lands. Is this gonna be your first Lost Lands?
Yeah, first one ever.
Same.
Damn, nice.
Same, dude.
I want to party with T-Rex and Brontosaurus.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with that, man.
And just whoops all weekend long.
Wubs. Wubs, T-Rex, wubs, excision.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. And then you say EDC Las Vegas, and then, yeah, man. Look.
Stacked for this year, basically.
And that's good. It's good. We've been all on timeout for a year and a half. I think it's time, dude.
Yeah.
It's time.
I mean, I've been to certain underground events.
They're just not the same, though.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, however, it's a change of pace, because it's narrowed down to like say, for people that are dance enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Like all the shufflers that attend these events. Usually it's like it just feels like we're just a cult of vampires doing our thing,
Yeah.
And whereas like there's no outside like factors of like what a festival would typically have.
Yeah.
It's just narrowed down to that one thing, that one element part, or rather a couple elements with the music and dancing. Just not the fun other
large
fancy
scale,
large scale festival stuff. But I mean, you could say they're the fillers.
I was just about to say, yeah, they're definitely something great to get by. And definitely, in a way, a little practice to get yourself ready for the festival season.
It actually, just mentioning like how you mentioned about the practice thing. I've mentioned this to people before, with like how there were, among many silver linings to the pandemic. Like I was able to just like practice and just train like during the pandemic, because I'm at home, and weekends where I would typically plan and be at an event. Instead, I just try to level up, and I can't go nowhere. I'll just might as well practice like at home. Fortunately, I was able to set up my living room to be a dance floor training area. I've
seen that, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
So yeah,
it's
thank
amazing.
you. It was one of those things where like I had to make things easier for my setup, and I was working from home, and it was just convenient for me to be like, well, I'm not gonna lose out on this. Like, if I'm gonna wait till next year, I'm gonna come out hard next year. If I'm gonna train at home. So it was cool, and I definitely could look back on it and be like, okay, would I be at my current level and have what I have now if I didn't, if this pandemic didn't happen? And I'm like, no, like I was actually able to breathe, And I would speak. I mean, in a sense, figuratively, as you know.
Well, yeah,
of course, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, it's being able to take a step back, adding to that, and it helped me both mentally and physically.
Yeah, we talked this a lot on the podcast. What we did before, especially like during like the kind of like the peak of the pandemic. That I mean, at some point, and I hope this could apply to everyone, but at some point, you had to take the negative that was a pandemic and turn it into a positive, and that's definitely what I did. I mean, like I told you before we started recording, was I got to finally work out and start to do something about my health. I kind of slipped up a bit, but I'm getting back on track. But you know, it happened when, you know, had to quarantine because of COVID, and then, but bouncing back and getting my levels back up, and definitely being in the direction that I needed to be, because definitely kind of going shoom 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 was definitely taking a toll, and
it was challenging for a lot of people.
Yeah, but you know, like you said, it was definitely a blessing in disguise, and it's definitely something that I think, you know, in humanity as a whole, is definitely a learning experience. Like we definitely should not have taken anything what happened for granted, and just be so thankful for all the things that we're getting back, and to be able to say, look, man, we made it through a very hard patch in human history, and all the only direction to go is up now from here.
Yeah, and you know, even just right now, I'm thankful I'm here talking with you,
dude. Thank you.
You know, honored to be here, and this is an experience that I'm definitely cherishing right now. So,
and it's a privilege to have you here, dude, and thank you for taking the time out of the day to do this, man.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I feel like we're just flowing, man. We're fun to talk to you, and I enjoy talking about dance and raves and just anything and our experiences, you know. But definitely. What was next for you though? Like, as far as I know you mentioned day trip. I know you're going to Lost Lands.
Yeah, it's simple, man. It's just day trip. Hard Summer is actually my wife and I's anniversary. So our anniversary of being together, because today's actually our wedding anniversary, like I mentioned to you before.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary, man. I'm happy for both y'all.
And it's gonna be our being in a relationship anniversary, so that's gonna be for Hard Summer. And then a little getaway that my wife and I are gonna be doing. We're gonna go to Base Canyon. So I'm driving us out there.
So you've been to the gorge before?
Yes, dude, and you need to go. You need to go.
I was gonna for Beyond, but
it's still gonna be there though. Yeah. But I will say this: when you can, definitely go. It's
probably next year, because it was either Base Canyon or Lost Lands. But props to you for being able to do both.
I have to, just because. Yeah, so Base Canyon, Lost Lands, and after that, I think that's it for me, man. Unless I decide I want to go to Escape, I still don't know. It's up in the air, but. That, and then possibly EDC Orlando, because I do have tickets for that. But truth be told, we don't have that many people of ours, like in our friend group, going to it. So we might
it's a little discouraging.
Yeah, and I mean, I would be down, but once again, like you mentioned before, time off from work, also a little bit of money issues. But that could be fixed. It's just a matter of just calculating and planning correctly. But it's just more so of the fact that our friends aren't going to be there, so.
It just keeps stacking. It's like
So I'm hoping maybe they could do like that, you know, the rollover option. Like if you can't go this year, just roll it over for next year. But if not, I'll probably just sell the ticket. And so we don't know. But guaranteed is day trip, Hard Summer, Base Canyon, and then Lost Lands for me.
Damn, day trip is just 2 months from now, bro. Like I'm gonna see you right there, and then 3 months later, that's Hard Summer. Yeah. I decided to go VIP on that one.
And that's a good move, because I'm doing GA. But I know, and I promised myself I would be doing VIP, but once again, it's just fun.
Oh yeah.
But if I could, look, honestly, if I could, I would want to do every festival VIP. And it's not because I don't want to be in the crowd, but I just love that option to be able to be in a secluded area.
Yeah, yo, the space, when I was doing that in 2019, I was loving the space. I was like, I get to hop back and forth and from the VIP to the crowded area. There was like the pool area, and I was like, yeah. I could be in the pool and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't know about the pool this year with all the regulations.
oh,
but, hey,
yeah.
you got to
I'm not sure.
experience it though.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this. I know, man. I don't know if they're gonna do it though.
They probably won't, but hey, we'll
As long
get
as
a
they
festival.
as long as they do the mist, the
Oh,
spray.
they have to. They
spraying
have
the
to,
mist
man.
on.
They'd be nuts if they did, especially for Hot Summer. It's one of the hottest events, man.
Yeah, like that one area we'd like go down under. It's like a big area of just spraying mist at us.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you know, but they're gonna have to do it at NNEVERNOT Center, Hard Summer this year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
it's no longer the Speedway.
Just for this year, because the Speedway is undergoing construction and renovation. So, but
that's right.
We'll see, because mind you, remember, this is something that they had announced for Beyond last year, but obviously pandemic, that they were going to expand the footprint and they were going to finally use the Speedway portion of NNEVERNOT Center. It's a little small Speedway section.
That's right.
We'll see. We'll see what
happens.
happens.
Yeah, because that Fontana one, that thing was a long stretch.
It was, but the way that Insomniac was able to, do their thing, pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, that's true. Rave Day Pod. Yeah.
Well, listen, James, let's start wrapping this up, man. Once again, man, thank you so much for joining me, man, and taking the time out of
I'm very
your
happy
day.
to be here. Thank you for having me.
Like I mentioned, we do this thing called the song selection for the podcast, in which we have our guests, pick a song that they're either listening to at the moment or something that they just want people to listen and, enjoy. Mm-hmm. What do you got for us, man?
Let's see. Let's play some that Franky Nuts and what was that? Let's see.
Got it.
It's William Black, Franky Nuts, Closer Than You.
Right on. So we've got Closer Than You by William Black and Amidy, and this is the Franky Nuts remix. Let's get this shit, y'all. Yeah. Chew. Fuck yeah, very melodic.
Yes.
So that was William Black and Amidy, Closer Than You, the Franky Nuts remix. Thank you, James. That shit was dope.
Dude, you're welcome. Thanks again for having me.
Oh, of course,
I had a good time.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play mines. Since you were here and you're on that, let's say that you were saying just get on our bass head shit, on our headbanger shit.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Actually, I'm gonna play a old track. It's not too old, but it's kind of old. And this is actually a track from a gentleman by the name of Kennedy Jones. Ooh. Not too sure if you remember him, but when I got back into the scene back in 2015, first festival back, coincidentally EDC, and that was actually one of the first acts that I saw at the Cosmic Meadow.
Oh, damn, nice.
Yeah, so this is a track.
Like that room, Cosmic Meadow.
Yeah. So this is a track by Kennedy Jones, and this is actually featuring DJ Paul Combe from 36 Mafia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and this is a track called Never Not. So, yeah, let's get this shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a little blast from the past. That was Never Not featuring DJ Paul, and that was by Kennedy Jones.
Dude, sweet sounds, man.
Yeah, man, that old school, like bro step ish dubstep sound that was still pretty dominant 2014, 2015, 2016. Yeah, before like we were talking off mic, before rhythm kind of became the standard.
Yeah, there was it wasn't even popular back
then. I mean, it was more like if you know, you know. But then now out of nowhere, like rhythm is this standard, yeah. Which nothing against it.
No, it's still good. Hey, I'm still loving it, man.
I enjoy the fuck out of it. I
mean,
during the pandemic, I'll be honest, I I stopped listening to rhythm just because I'll be honest, man, I can't listen to heavy shit every day.
Nah, it's like that's why you gotta like wait till you're in that mode. It's not like, you're waking up, you're brushing your teeth, and then you're listening to bangers, and the next thing you know, you're about to read a book, listen to bangers.
It's just not a good formula, man.
Nah, it's like you just need to like get your mind ready for it. It's okay. I'm gonna play it in 5 minutes, all right? One of those things, or when you just feel it,
Yeah.
In general.
But not at a festival though. Festival's different.
Oh,
Festival.
You're all in or nothing, bro.
Exactly.
You're walking in that stage because you know it's coming.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, like that was good. That was dope.
Listen, James, once again, man, I highly appreciate you stopping by, man, and taking the time out of your day to do this.
No, man, it's cool. I really enjoyed being here. Hopefully there's more opportunities.
Oh, dude, like I told you off mic, man. In the near future, dude, you have to come back. Man.
Yeah,
you have to come back, and then
this is really cool.
Anything you want to say to anyone before we sign off with this?
Yeah, just everybody, just live it up, stay safe out there. We're really close to the finish line, and I'll be seeing you all soon. We'll be seeing you all soon.
That's right.
Let's make it happen.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and you will see us later. Peace.
Peace.